I just stumbled on this video from Lavonda Rocks. That's a badass name, by the way. Lavonda Rocks. That's dope. This is ruining DJ culture. And, you know, I'm a DJ myself.
Music is changing fast.
Sorry about that. I love listening to people's perspectives about this. So we're going to add a little bit to it, you know what I'm saying? Make sure to like and subscribe to Lavonda Rocks. Again, dope-ass name. This video is called This is Ruining DJ Culture. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Let's see what she's talking about.
Music is changing faster than ever.
Facts.
Shorter tracks, AI production, nonstop novelty.
Yeah.
And when the music changes, the way that DJs play it changes too.
Facts.
But the real shift isn't just about tech or trends, it's about dopamine. Short-form platforms have trained audiences to expect a faster payoff and constant novelty and constant stimulation, and DJing is now happening inside that system. So if DJing feels different right now, it's not in your head. In this video, I'm going to show you how DJs are being pushed to adapt.
I wonder if it's like, from a DJ's perspective, I could definitely feel how it's different than how I started, because I feel like when I came in the game, it was like, mid 2000s. My first DJ set was like 2014 official DJ set. Been in the game for a while, but there's people I know that have been in the game for like 30 years. So for me, the difference I can tell is that yes, there are more phones, and the newer music that's being pushed out is like less danceable. It's more like just hype factor, little goofy dances that you do individually, but the co-ed dancing is pretty much non-existent, which is why whenever I do like certain 90s nights or R&B throwback nights, that's when it's really like the dancing, you know, it's kind of implied that, okay, this is going to be like dancing type stuff, like co-ed dancing. The new type stuff, I don't know, it's different. It's different. You just have to kind of, let me not get off on a tangent. Let's watch more of the video.
Risk for the art form and how to thrive as a DJ in the dopamine era.
Yeah.
I think music used to be like a campfire. You gathered around it. You stayed and bonded over it. It unfolded slowly. A DJ would build a
Well, that's because we got the music. We digested the music a lot easier back then. Like every time I got like a new CD, like I would buy my CDs. Like I'm old enough to have CDs, y'all. I never got cassettes, but I got CDs. And I remember like when you buy the CD, it's like, it's not just the music. It's like the art. Then there's like a story, like an actual story in the pamphlet. And then there's like an intro song that tells you about like the next song coming up. And it's like, there was a whole story behind it. It's like music now back then was like a whole story. And plus we couldn't access it so easily like today. I can go on TikTok right now and listen to a full album, and 2 weeks from now that song will be non-existent. You know what I mean? It's like here today, gone tomorrow. And what's funny is a lot of those songs, they're very well produced, they're pretty good, but they don't have any like intrinsic value. Back then, man, my first album was the Gorillaz 1999 album. That's the very first album I bought with my allowance money. And I bought that shit for like, I think it was like $14. And it was an album, and it had music, but then you could put it in your computer, and it was like you can play games. Then it had stickers in it. Then it had the pictures. It's like when I heard the music, it's like my mind wrapped around every single solitary song, even the ones that were shit. Because trust me, the first Gorillaz album was okay. I think it was dope. But the Demon Days, oh my God. That is my favorite album. But anyway, yeah, the music nowadays is just so hard to digest now. It's almost like we just regurgitate it. You just take a bite, something else. You don't really digest it, so you don't really live with it. Look, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but let me just finish with this point real quick. I have a bunch of DJ hard drives, right? My hard drives from, because I have 2 hard drives I always save every year. I have a crate that's like new pop music, TikTok music, whatever. In my new hard drive, literally none of those songs are in there. So it's like I collected like almost 50 songs from last year that were like these viral type songs, and I don't play any of them this year. It's crazy, but I still play 50 Cent in the club. Usher, yeah. I still play Roscoe Dash. Wonder why.
Over time, tension mattered, silence had purpose. But today, music looks more like fireworks. It's bright and loud and immediate and over in 2 seconds, and I'm pretty sure there's a "that's what she said" joke in here.
Yeah.
It's not because fireworks are better. I do love fireworks.
Now we're cooking with fire!
But because they're easier to notice. Short-form platforms are designed to reward fast payoff. You scroll, you get a hit of dopamine, you get bored, you scroll again, and that loop has retrained our brains. Attention is now conditioned. This is why nowadays tracks get to the drop faster, and intros are shorter, and silence feels uncomfortable. Subtlety feels risky. Music now competes inside an ecosystem that rewards novelty over patience, and spikes over slow burns, and immediate emotion over a delayed payoff. Now, this isn't a moral failure or a generational flaw. I'm not here to be judgy. I mean, I acknowledge that I am feeding right into this as a DJ who is mostly DJing on Twitch. But this influence is by design. It's engineered by the billionaires who own social media, chasing more eyes and more billions. And when the way that people consume...
But are they really making money off of these, like, I call it like McDonald's fast food music? Are they really making money off of it? Because these guys are still buying catalogs from like classic artists, you know, like T-Pain and some of these rock bands. Was it Coldplay or something? They're buying their catalog. They're not buying the catalog of these new YN rappers or these random EDM DJs. It seems like 30,000 new EDM DJs pop up every week. I can't keep up with these motherfuckers. And what's funny is they all sound the same. I'm just trying to be honest. John Summit is like my favorite one. But I know him because of just maybe one or two distinct tracks. La Danza, and he has this other one he's got, I forgot. But Fisher is another one that kind of stands out. His production's different. But everybody else literally sounds the exact same. And I cannot tell. Unless you show me a picture of them, maybe I could tell a difference. Aside from that, they all sound the exact same.
Music changes, DJs do not get to stay neutral. And that's part of the tension I think DJs are feeling. So when a DJ steps behind the decks today, they're not just selecting tracks. They're choosing between tending a fire or launching sparks. And if dopamine is reshaping how people listen, what's it doing to the way DJs actually play? For a long time, DJs were curators first. They introduced people to music and controlled discovery and decided what
they don't do that anymore. That's a good point she made. DJs introducing people to music does not happen anymore. Unless you're just a famous TikTok DJ on the internet and you just break in some new records. But, bro, I know so many DJs in the industry that have a lot of power, like with gigs and radio and all that. They don't break in new records unless you pay them. It's like motherfuckers don't have an interest in music. They just want to get that check. When I started DJing 2014, 2015, whatever, there were DJs that I met that were like, hey, as long as you could bring a few people to the gig, I'll play your song. They didn't ask for no payment, nothing like that. Nowadays, bro, your local radio DJ on a local shitty ass radio station will charge you a couple $100 to play your song, not even on prime time, because they're just focused on paying the bills and just getting a couple dollars in their pocket. They don't care about your music. They're not trying to grow with it. None of that. They just want to get them dollars, bro. So these DJs, they don't discover new music anymore. They just find what's already been trending because the people like you, y'all find the new music, which that's like an A&R's job. If you don't know what an A&R, look that up. Their job is to find new talent and push it to the forefront. The regular consumer off TikTok is doing that now, and DJs don't do that. They just see what y'all are doing. They make a bunch of stupid ass remixes of it, and then they just push it like they've discovered it, but they didn't.
That shaped how DJ sets worked. Long blends made sense because the audience didn't know the track. Slow builds worked because trust existed. You listened and danced because the DJ was your guide. And that world is gone. Discovery is no longer scarce. Spotify, YouTube, all the algorithms now surface music instantly. Everyone arrives at the party with a library already chosen for them. Being good at finding music is no longer rare. Access is universal, and taste alone isn't a competitive advantage in a world where people are letting AI do the thinking for them. It's like being a travel guide in a world where everyone already has...
I don't think it's completely gone. Just going back to her point about those events, it's not completely gone. It's just harder to find. You have to literally dig through like Eventbrite to find that type of dancing vibe, you know, which kind of sucks because I think people nowadays expect to go out to like a regular club, like something you Google, oh, club in my area, and they expect it to be that type of vibe. That's not really how it is nowadays. You really have to just find curated events on event sites to get that experience.
Access to Google Maps. So if DJs are no longer the gatekeepers of discovery, what fills that gap? There's another "that's what she said" joke there. If you feel like the rules of DJing are changing, you're right. But DJing was never just about playing songs. It was about reading a room and shaping the energy and creating momentum and moments. And that part still matters. But what's changed is how attention gets shaped before the set even starts. Dopamine has conditioned listeners for fast payoff, quick hits, immediate hooks, constant stimulation, and DJs are noticing this in real life. On DJ forums, you see it bluntly.
Yeah.
People talk about...
I mean, sorry to pause it real quick, but have you guys ever been to like a top 40 hip hop club, Vegas, your typical college club? A lot of DJs change songs like almost every 30 seconds or less, and it's called quick mixing. I mean, there's a good way to do it, and they usually do it like when like in the last like hour and a half, 2 hours leading up until like the what do you call it? Whenever the lights come on, last call. But it's such a norm now throughout entire sets, especially among like these big packed younger crowds, like, you know, kind of like in the video you saw here where they're just jumping around and shit like that. It's very common that you see DJs do that now, especially with like the hip hop top 40 because of the dopamine shit. And I don't know, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because I really think people don't want this. I don't think they want this shit. I think the DJs do it to get those dopamine reactions to make it look like they're doing shit. But what DJs don't understand, and I'm talking about, well, I guess this applies to all DJs, but just because people ain't doing this the whole 2, 3, 4 hours of your entire set doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job. Look, I could be doing this in the club on my phone texting, and I still like the music. I still like what's going on because I'm vibing. If I didn't, bro, listen, if people didn't really like what was going on, they would just all leave. They would stop buying drinks, they would leave. But I think nowadays, because the DJ market is so saturated, that everybody is trying to compete by showcasing their crowd control. Look, for the whole 4 hours, I had that place lit. I had that place crazy. It was jumping. Oh, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Cool. You had them jumping because you were doing this 30-second dopamine shit, but that doesn't mean that the people really wanted that shit. Bro, as a DJ myself, I like to go to gigs as a customer to kind of see, you know, what's going on. You got to do your research, right? And a lot of times I hear DJs, or I hear people talk about how DJs cut the songs off too quick. Like, yeah, the transition was dope, but at the same time, we wanted to hear a little bit more of that song. Like, we just got our hookah. We just got our bottle. Like, this song is, you know, my girl's favorite song. You just cut that shit off. So I don't know. I just think that the people aren't asking for this 30-second, 2-minute track transition type thing. The people are not asking for that. The DJs are doing that themselves because, again, I feel like they're trying to compete with their crowd control. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. Sorry if it sounds like I'm babbling, whatever, but I'm just kind of like, this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. I'm sorry because it just really makes me so mad, man, when I see this. It's like, and it's worse when you have promoters and bar managers, club managers telling you to do this 30-second shit. Oh, you're playing the song too long. You're playing it. Bro, I've been told that maybe about twice in my DJ career. The first time, I almost blew a head gasket. Second time, I walked out. It was like, bro, I'm not even going to say the name of the place, but you don't ever tell me to do this shit. Don't ever tell me to do this shit. I will not. You motherfuckers do not pay me enough to tell me to do that shit, bro. Fuck off.
Talk about attention spans on dance floors shrinking and how that changes what works in a set. Reddit DJs are calling it a real shift and something they feel in the booth.
Yeah.
One even said TikTok has done for DJing what highlight reels did for sports. We now play to highlight moments, not just journeys. DJs still curate taste and we still build energy, but now we also have to frame that taste for brains trained on immediate reward and dopamine. And yes, the type of DJ you are matters a lot when we're talking about these questions. If you're a club DJ with 20 to 30 year olds in your main demographic, then you're going to play a lot differently than a wedding or an event DJ. And I'm really curious where you guys land on this. Do you feel like DJing?
To be honest, and I'm going to go back to her wedding club DJ comparison, the last like 10 weddings I've done, bro, they literally told me to take it to like club vibes, which is crazy. I've only had maybe my last wedding that was actually like 100% like wedding vibes, where you play the song all the way through. There's really like minimal tricks and back scratches, just maybe like one or two, but it's not like super clubby. You know, sets that I feel like you could probably DJ sitting down in your chair, just chilling. I've only had maybe 15, 20 weddings like that. Most of my weddings, they've wanted like a real clubby type vibe.
Change for you,
and it could
or
be because most of these motherfuckers find me in the club to DJ their weddings, so I guess that makes sense.
you think that people are overreacting? Let me know in the comments. So if DJing now includes managing attention as much as playing music, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, here's my take. It's not the death of DJing, it's the end of DJing being done in the same way it always was.
Yeah.
The core of the craft is still intact, and reading the room still matters. Taste still matters.
It does matter, but it is definitely not intact.
Track selection still matters. Energy still matters, but what's changed
true.
is the environment that those skills operate in.
Yeah, the environment is so different. Have you guys seen those videos on every social media platform where they show the DJs doing the transitions, and it's like 20,000 people in the DJ booth and everybody's just kind of standing around, nobody's dancing with each other. They're just kind of dancing in their own world surrounded by the DJ. It's almost like a mini concert, which is cool, but I feel like that is where DJing is going even more. I feel like it's going in that direction even harder, where people are expecting that vibe for their venues and stuff. And it kind of sucks because people see that too, and now everybody's trying to do that. Like, they are inviting all their friends in the DJ booth. They're telling their friends, "Hey, y'all got to be hype." You know, they're doing the most. They're making it seem overload. You know, and it's just it takes away from the aesthetic of the actual music to the point where it's like, okay, if I don't see a bunch of people in this motherfucker going crazy over a transition, whether it's cheesy or not, then it's not a good DJ. And it's like, it sucks, bro. But that's the direction where we're going.
Part of the new environment is visibility. Having a social media presence now is not about becoming an influencer DJ. I think it's like a modern day business card. At one point, if you didn't have a card, you were harder to book and harder to remember and harder to follow up with. But today, social media fills that role. It tells people who you are, what you play, and what kind of energy you bring. You can still be about the music, but without...
It does to a sense. Okay, let me tell you something. You can lie on social media. Numbers can lie. You can buy views. You can buy comments. You can buy shares. You can buy repost. You can buy all that shit. Have y'all seen the DJ pages that have like 5 photos, but they have like 50,000 followers, and each photo has like 200,000 views, you know, whatever, 100 comments, and then you see a photo that has like 20,000 views, but it has 3 comments on it, 2 saves and 1 repost. They are paying for that shit. Because they know the average consumer, average booking manager, they don't understand this social media shit. The managers, the promoters, all they see is maybe one or two. The first thing they look at is your follower count. Then they look at if you have a video that has like a high view count on it. And does it look somewhat decent? And are there people in the video dancing to how you're playing it? If so, if you got a high follower count, which from what I was told from promoters is like they look, if you have something that's like 30,000 or more. Oh, and also who's following you. If you have like some crazy celebrities following you, like if T-Pain's following you or something like that, that can also greatly increase your chances of your so-called social media business card of getting you booked at like, bigger spots and shit like that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And it doesn't even mean that DJ is good. It just means that, they have a big social media presence. If I put them on my website, it could boost our traffic and get a whole bunch of motherfuckers in here to buy some drinks and some food and hookah and get us all paid. Because at the end of the day, we're DJs. It's all about, to us, it's all about the music, right? But when it comes to business, we play at venues that got to get their bills paid. They got to pay that light bill, got to pay that leasing fee. And they can't do it if there's not a lot of bodies in that motherfucker buying drinks and hookah. So unfortunately, you got to have a checks and balances with this DJ thing. You can be all artsy and think about curating the vibe and all this other shit. But unfortunately, again, you have to think about the business, because if what you're doing is not bringing in people to really pay to listen to your ass, then all that curation shit, to a promoter, it just looks like a waste of time.
Some public context that music has no entry point. And so, how do you adapt? Well, first, adapting doesn't mean changing who you are. I think it means being willing to try new ways of expressing it. DJing has always evolved through experimentation, new techniques, new structures, and new gear. Always new ways of building. That's still true. So,
whenever this era came out, what she's showing right here, turntablism, whenever that came out, literally this shit right here set the standard. And I bet that's Grandmaster Flash right there. I bet it is. Yep, I can tell by his big ass nose and that outfit he got on. Shout out to him. He's a fucking legend, man. One day I hope to meet him. This set the standard for hip hop. This set the standard for DJs in general, because if you are a DJ and you've played at any type of gig, I'm pretty sure people have came up to you and said, "Hey, doing a good job. But do you play on vinyl? You play on vinyl? Or do you play on vinyl? Can you scratch? Can you scratch?" Bro, I've had a lot of people ask me that. And when they ask me, can I play on vinyl? I mean, yeah, I learned how to play on vinyl without a computer. Tape, vinyl disc, and what do we have? We had a Pioneer PLX 5 mixer. And when they ask if I can scratch, I just start scratching. Just do whatever. But this, when people see this, especially people who are over the age of 40, and they see you playing at a gig, in their heads, whatever you're playing just sounds 20 times better. It's crazy. There's a psychological factor to seeing this being played by a DJ. Because this takes like patience. It takes timing. And what's funny is, even though you're playing on this, you could be using a turntable, emulation turntable. Like, DJs that have like turntables, but there's a fat ass computer right over there. That's not real turntables. Those are emulations, because you're still playing off of a computer. But see, the average consumer doesn't know that. They don't know that. They just like to see visually this shit, right? When they see this in their heads, they're thinking, "Oh, this, him, this, you, real DJ. You this, you real DJ. Ooh, you real DJ. That's what they think, because this right here, whenever people were playing on turntables back in the day, first of all, you had to have a crew. You could not do this by yourself. You needed somebody to help you pick out the tracks. You need some help to carry your crates. It was impossible to do this shit successfully by yourself. Okay? Getting the records. The DJs would have exclusive records. Like if you saw Grandmaster Flash, you already knew he had records that no other DJ in the city had. All these edits that people didn't have, bro. Maybe like a handful of people. But he's a DJ, so out of that handful of people, he's going to be the one playing it on the big platform in his borough. You know, New York and all this shit, right? So it was a whole culture behind this shit, bro. It's like people don't understand that shit, bro. It's a whole culture behind that. You know what I mean? You weren't hearing every record from every DJ. I couldn't just go on my shit. No, you had to go to certain DJs to hear certain vibes, bro. Like I, travel across certain parts of New York, Philly, whatever, to hear certain DJs. Because this DJ plays Latin hip hop. In the cross town, that DJ plays African and some whatever boom bap. But they would never interchange. They'd be totally different. And that's what made them so dope, bro. So yeah, for everybody that grew up in this era, this vinyl era, you have to understand that if you're a younger DJ and they come to you asking you, hey, do you play on vinyl? Do you scratch? All that. It's because they have witnessed this shit, bro. They understand this culture, which set the standard, bro, for DJing, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot to this, bro, that people don't understand, man. And trust me, what's crazy is I didn't even live in this era, but I've acquired wisdom from so many old heads that told me so many stories about them. Growing up in Philly, growing up in New York, growing up in Chicago, even here in Texas, Dallas. I've seen so many movies about it, and a lot of my DJ mentors, some of them are in their 50s, man. They've showed me why people fuck with this shit. And why psychologically, and I'm going to give y'all another tip. If you are a DJ watching this, one tip. If you do weddings and you have a turntable set up, even if it's like the Serato turntable, play on turntables. Don't play on CDJs. Play on moving platters. And play where they can see your hands, right? Don't hide behind a booth if you can at a wedding. I guarantee you will book 2 or 3 weddings that same wedding, bro. People just, like, again, the aesthetic, psychologically, when they see you doing this shit, it just does something to them. It's like, you real DJ. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
New structures and new gear, always new ways of building. That's still true. So trying quicker mixing doesn't erase your values, and neither does testing how long a moment needs before it lands. Those are tools, not identities. I don't think trying new techniques is selling out. And as I was writing out my thoughts about this topic, I realized I think this is one of those things that I love so much about streaming on Twitch, because platforms like Twitch make it possible for DJs to...
Y'all go check her Twitch out. Her DJ Mabel Music. Y'all go check that out.
Exactly who they are.
She's rocking
You don't
out,
have to chase every trend and flatten your taste. It's the total opposite. You simply find the crowd that wants your sound. And if you haven't tried live streaming yet, I have some resources that I'm going to link in the description for you. I mean, there are DJs on Twitch who never talk. DJs who play only vinyl. And yes, some DJs who wear costumes. I think adapting looks like this. Being curious instead of defensive about people's musical tastes. Testing new techniques and genres and ways of mixing without losing your core essence. Giving yourself permission to evolve or stay the same. I mean, that's what I did. I gave myself permission to laugh and play and be silly.
You see how she's doing this right on live? I'm going to keep it totally transparent with y'all, man. And this is a good video she's making, but I got to keep it a buck with y'all. This is the future of you getting into DJing. Is you starting to do this shit right here. Okay? So for y'all that want to get into DJing, this is how you'll probably start getting into your DJ career. As time goes on, this is going to be the new way to get in. I guarantee you, they're going to be like, what's your Twitch follower? Instagram's going to matter too a little bit, but she talked about social media being your business card. I guarantee you in like the next 5 to 10 years, whatever, people are going to start asking, you got a Twitch? You got a YouTube? Like, what's your viewer count? Oh, you're not DJing on your off nights, like to get your viewers engaged? They're going to start asking for this. How many followers you got on Twitch? You know what I mean? So this may be the new way to get you into the actual real life club shit, man. and the concerts and the festivals. They may want you to be consistently online doing this, right? And bringing your fans that are on this to the actual live venues. Look, I'm telling y'all, man, because now most DJs I know in this area that are successful, they don't do this. They're not on Twitch. They're too busy in the clubs. You know what I mean? You know, granted, a lot of them are, they got their start by hosting live events and starting out of small bars and stuff like that. But again, like I said, in the future, even breaking into getting them into small bars, back in the day, it was like, hey, can I get a tryout night? Here's my business card. Here's a couple of videos, mixes I have. Here's my mix. Can you listen to my mix? No, they're going to be like, are you on Twitch? Are you actually currently DJing? Do you have people that tune in to watch you DJ? If not, scram. That's going to be the future, y'all.
I can already hear the comments from DJ BJ.
Real DJs don't dance.
DJing is not dying. Even when there are AI DJs.
I disagree. DJing is actually dying.
On all the platforms. But what's dying is the idea that DJing can stay exactly the same while the world around it changes. Dopamine is changing how people discover music, and algorithms are changing how taste spreads, and platforms are changing where attention begins, but
DJing
none of that erases the core of the craft. Reading a room still matters, crate digging still matters, energy still matters. What's changed is that DJs now have to meet people where their attention starts. That does not mean becoming someone you're not. It means deciding who you are.
Someone you're not.
More intentionally. So it's not the end of...
It actually does mean becoming someone you're not. Because none of us want to do this Twitch shit, bro. We want to be in front of real life people. I guess unless you know you can make some good money off that Twitch shit, I guess that's cool. But you're not seeing the people dance in front of you. You're not seeing the actual live connection. You're on the internet playing for a bunch of fucking emojis, bro. So no DJ wants to do that shit as a set career. Most DJs want to play in a club on a regular basis in front of real fucking people, bro. They don't want to do this. So yes, like I said earlier, yes, DJing is dying. Let me finish the video real quick. We got like 10 seconds.
And if you're willing to stay curious, experiment honestly, and hold on to your values, there's never been more room to be yourself as a DJ than right now.
Yeah.
And if you want to explore what it's like to live stream your DJ sets, go watch this playlist so you can take a peek into the wild world of Twitch.
She just made an amazing video. Shout outs to her. We're going to subscribe. She made an amazing video. Shout outs to Lavonda Rocks. Again, that's a dope ass name. But yeah, DJing is dying. It is dying. So I tell you guys over and over and over again, if you want to get into the shit, dude, start today, because the co-ed dancing is done. You can get into DJing being an EDM producer DJ, but bro, those guys don't play like nightclub DJs. Most of their shit is preset. It's like you're literally playing songs that you made in your studio in front of a crowd. Bro, the whole DJ shit is dying. Nightclubs are closing left and right, bro. A lot of these nightclubs, let me tell you something, man. If we don't have venues to play at, we're not DJing nowhere. So you have to think about it from the bottom up. If you don't have venues, first of all, if you don't have people that are interested in going out, then these venues aren't going to have people to fill. If the venues don't have people to fill, they don't need DJs to play. So if they don't need DJs to play, nigga, they're not hiring no fucking DJs. What they're doing is they're probably going to get a Spotify curated list, which if y'all don't know, there are playlists you can get that transition on their own. I was just at LA Fitness and they were playing songs that were transitioning on their own. There's no DJ, it's AI. So again, it starts with the ground up. People are interested in going out. The clubs ain't gonna get filled. If the clubs ain't getting filled, then they don't have a need for the DJ or live entertainment. And if they don't have music, live entertainment, they just deal with it, save money, and get a Spotify playlist. Okay? And the Spotify playlist will always be successful, without a doubt. It is forever evolving. But the DJ game is not forever evolving. You see what I'm saying? So from the ground up, it's murky. But from the top down, from Spotify, it's forever evolving. So that component will always be a reliable variable. Well, when it comes to DJing, they cost money. Sometimes they can be late. Do I like them? We got to build relationships with them. You see what I'm saying? It gets a little iffy. Then you think about it, as a person that owns a venue, my bar backs are important, paramount. Bar backs are paramount, bro. Bar backs, bro. They hold the bar together. The security, I need them. I need the bottle girls. I need the bartenders, right? I need the promoters. Okay, I need people to vacuum and clean up when I'm done. I need that. And then, do I really need a DJ? That's an extra few $100 extra. I'm not even paying my bar backs $20 for the night, but I gotta pay a couple $100 for a DJ. And there's like only 20 people in this bitch. See what I'm saying? This was a great video, and I went off on a tangent because this is like near and dear to my heart. I love DJing so much, but I feel like the overall just culture and vibe of this thing, it's gone so far south, bro. I feel like I should just make another video about this because the art of DJing, it's all about curating a vibe. But DJs have lost control of the wheel of curating those vibes because they do not discover new music anymore. The business executives and TikTok and everything else does for them. And it's just so much to control. It's so much but it's just so much so fast. You know what I mean? And it's just the uniqueness of DJing is kind of disappeared. For y'all to go out to clubs, man, look, every club y'all been to, if y'all been to like a club, like a strip like Austin, Dallas, Houston, I don't know where y'all live at, or Orlando, Sacramento, there's like strips, right? You know, places where they have like clubs back to back to back to back, right? Go to some of these strips during like a Saturday evening, whatever. The music all sounds the fucking same. They all sound the same. Still playing songs from 2005, 2007, 2010. Still playing that shit. It's 2026. You know what I mean? Because they know they can't play that new shit consistently because it's hard to digest. They're not trying to discover new dance music, new cultural evolving music. They're not trying to do that. They're just trying to play stuff that the dancing crowd feels familiar with, you know, whatever. And that crowd is about to age out, bro. Listen, man, I was just talking to I was just talking to a DJ. Oh my God. This is crazy. We're working on this track. And I was in the studio and I brought up what was that song? I Can't Believe It by T-Pain, because I asked him if he can find the synths off of that song. He's like, what song? By who? I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. He does not know who T-Pain is. We're fucked. How old is he? He's 20 years old. 20 years old. He does not know who T-Pain is. Fucked. When I heard that, I was like, oh, shoot. And the next 5 to 10 years, they're not going to know who Nelly is. They're not going to know who Missy Elliott is. Missy Elliott is going to seem like grandma to them. Missy Elliott is actually old enough to be a fucking grandma. They may know who Timberland is, maybe. Of course, they're going to know Jay-Z because he's in that shit. They're going to know 50 Cent. Kanye is probably the oldest artist right now that is hip-hop to the core and is still actually relevant. Like, my 13-year-old cousin knows who Kanye was. He has Life of Pablo album poster in his bedroom. Kanye is a 50-year-old man. That little boy is 13. But that little 13-year-old boy, he don't know Rakim. He doesn't know LL Cool J. He probably even know Nelly. But they know Kanye West. They know Jay-Z just because of, Beyonce, but they know Kanye by his music and his influence. And these are young kids. But they don't know LL Cool J. They don't know Montel Jordan. They don't know these motherfuckers. And these dudes are around the same age as Kanye. They don't know Jodeci. Excuse me. So what I'm saying is the relevancy of the DJing when it comes to newer music is dying. It's dying. So it's killing the culture. We thrive off of the music. So if the music is dying, the DJs will die. They're going to die. Bro, how many times did y'all find new records and it's broken out by another DJ? It's not. It's like something is broken out from a TikTok algorithm. Listen, man. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm tired. This topic just it's near and dear to my heart. Lavonda, you did me on this one. But I'm gonna tell y'all, man, if you want to get into DJing, do it right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Do it right now, because it is getting so hard to become a DJ that it's just kind of ridiculous, dude. It's getting ridiculous. Just start DJing today. Shouts out to Lavonda Rocks. Y'all make sure to subscribe to her page, man. This was awesome. I love this topic. And I'm not going to edit this video either. Make sure to like, subscribe.